Okay, so I'm going to start off by telling you a little story. Um, this has been plaguing me for quite some time, but it made me think about what today's topic is, and that's addressing the issue, right? So, in our bathroom for the last 5.5 years has existed this little children's step stool. Um, for some reason, I always find it in the middle of the floor. I'm not going to get into that, what the reason is. You can assume if you're a parent, you already know. Um, but for 5.5 years, this little step stool has been plaguing my life. It's either right in the middle of the floor or in front of the side of our stand-up cabinet that I use, the side of the cabinet that I use. So when I wake up in the morning, I get up before everyone else. I'm always trying to be quiet, as to not wake other people up. And I feel like I always have to drag and or typically kick this step stool out of my way. um, and I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And that begs the question, well, Bryan, why haven't you done anything about it? And so I had this conversation internally the other day and thought, yeah, I need to talk to my wife about this. I need to talk to the kids about this. So I finally did that, right? I finally went to my son and said, hey, do daddy a favor. Could you just, when you're done with the bench, just put it away, just move it over in the corner or something, right? And so, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He did it a couple times, but it's right back to it. So obviously, there's going to be a work in progress. But yeah, man, it also had me thinking, like, what other things in my life, in my marriage, or my relationship with my kids, am I just like annoyed about and have not said anything to them about it to address and or correct these issues? And I feel like, man, there's probably things that you're thinking to yourself right now that, oh yeah, there's some
Man,
stuff, there's conversations we need to have.
I I'm just thinking actively of your step stool story because in my life, like I can see that. Like you walk in, it's in the middle of the bathroom. It's not so big, it's not so small that you forget it's there or trip over it, but like it's big enough to just be in the way every time.
Yeah.
And like depending on the day, it's fine. Like, okay, I'll just move it. But for me, I'll just talk about me. Some days I would be teeing off like I'm kicking a kickoff in a football game, like because it's in the way, right? And then so like it's all over the bathroom, and then you have to go put it back where you want it to go because you kicked it in the wrong space. So like that is how issues can be addressed or not be addressed, right? So
Mhm.
like you think about it and sometimes you don't address it because it's good, but that one time you that issue is caught on the wrong day, you're now kicking the ball 60 yards down the field, right? And now you're having a tantrum about something that is seemingly small and you could get around and or move on your own, and
And
you're
because,
mad because someone else didn't do something that they should have did too.
right, that you've never told them to do.
Yeah. That's the thing. You never expressed it. Absolutely.
And on top of that, like, you're gonna get these questions like, why is daddy mad? Why is daddy kicking the stool?
Right.
Are you okay? What happened in here?
Right.
Everything's fine.
It's fine. It's out. Everything's fine. Yeah, it's the noise. Like if you're not worried about people being up, like the noise that that could make.
Yeah.
Like so, you're like making all this noise. You got all this attention. Now what?
Hmm.
Do we go back and say it's fine, or do we actually talk about the issue?
Yeah. Well,
So,
if you've been me for the last 5.5 years,
yeah,
you,
just
you
move
just
on.
fine. It's fine. Are you sure? Is the follow up question to that? Yeah. Yeah. I just need to grow up.
Yeah, it's just a stool. It's just a stool.
Yeah. And you convince yourself that I shouldn't be upset about this because it's just a stool.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go about your life for 5.5 years.
Yep. And every time that not big deal is just right there
Mm.
looking at you, taunting you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm right here in the middle again. You gonna step around me? You gonna move me? You gonna
Mm-hmm.
kick me? I'm right here. Still here, still not addressed.
Gives you that David Goggins. You can't hurt me.
Right.
Oh man. And then don't let it stack up with something else you haven't had a conversation about.
Uh, yeah. Two or three things. And
Mm.
don't let them all catch you on the wrong day. Then you're kicking, you're punching, you're screaming. That's not good. And then you get that are you okay question or what's wrong question becomes the bane of your existence. Right. But someone is actively concerned about
Mm-hmm.
something that you've never told them. And then you're getting mad because they're asking about the thing that you've never told them.
Why is daddy crying?
like, what? It's fine. It's fine. like, oh, and then don't hurt yourself kicking the stool.
Oh, yeah.
like, don't hurt yourself. The amount of self-deprecation you do on yourself for kicking the stool and then hurting yourself and then like having to actively adjust your life because you've hurt yourself. Like,
Yeah.
now your toes all jacked up and you can't go on your regular life because you kicked the stool.
Now you're
So
sitting
every
on.
time you think about your toe being hurt, you're thinking about the stool that you didn't address, that you could have addressed differently than kicking it. This is all a metaphor, people. Stay with the story. Don't get lost in us clowning, but it's real, man. Like,
I wish it was a metaphor.
well, in your case, there's really a stool. In my case, there's no stool. But I do remember Bella had a stool as well, and it had the grip bottom. So, like, obviously, you don't fall. So, like, you can't just slide it. And if it's behind the door, so in her bathroom, it's a double sink, but the door that you open the bathroom on the back side of that is the door to the closet.
Okay.
So like you can't open the door if she sits it there. Um, then you hear it when you open the door. Then you have to go into the closet, like the closet in the bathroom, and then it's in front of that too. Or if she puts it in front of the door of the closet, like opened, but doesn't like put it away. So then if you try to slam the door, you can't even slam the door because
Uh,
listen, you're now bringing back things that I thought I was over.
yeah. And all that is to say, what are the other issues in your relationship that you aren't addressing? Right. It's, and it's funny, like, it's so much easier just to have the conversation when it first happens. Right. That first time your wife asks you, hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? Rather than saying nothing and burying it and feeling like you have to man up and just swallow it and deal with it. Like, just have the conversation. And I think we've even brought this up before, right? Like, you, and these might be your words, you are robbing your wife of the opportunity to serve you or better herself or correct something or get something off of her mind that she would like to say to you as well, right?
Right.
And I found myself doing that all too often and even just recently, right? Like, because we feel like that's the easy way out.
Yeah, but
Long,
it's not.
it really isn't. It really isn't.
It's like a false solution. It's like a faux solution. You think it's great, but it's not the real thing. The real deal is take the 5 minutes to talk about whatever it is when it
Mhm.
first happens, And I think for me, it's talking myself into that it is valuable enough to have a conversation. Like, do I really want to waste words on this? Like, am I really going to talk about this stool? Like, it's just a stool. So, am I really going to have this conversation? Um, and it usually is, especially in the beginning.
Mhm.
Like, that's when it's probably worth the most because there's no weight to it. Like, there's no 10 years down the road, then you're actually bringing this up. That's a lot heavier of a conversation than this one. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it
Yeah,
light in the marriage.
yeah. That's I think that's exactly where I was gonna go. Is in the moment it feels like, all right, I don't have to deal with this. I'm just gonna say I'm fine, right? But then it just keeps stacking. The problem keeps persisting, and then you're just creating a bigger problem. Or what happens is you're thinking like, well, I don't have to have this little issue. Like I shouldn't be upset about this. Is typically my thought. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is
Absolutely.
this is something so small, so stupid. I shouldn't be upset about it. But yet you are upset. Right?
Yeah.
So like just deal with like you're having a feeling in the moment. Just say it out loud. Say, yeah, I'm upset about this. It might be silly, it might be stupid. I don't care. I'm upset about it. That's the
Yeah.
only way to change.
That is I was literally writing like we need to feel when you said that. Um because we feel like we have to justify, maybe it's just me. I feel like I have to justify my feelings.
Hmm.
Like instead of just being okay to feel, I
Yeah.
have to justify that it's okay to feel instead of just it being a part. Like I'm not walking around being like, "Oh, should I breathe now? Is it okay to breathe?" No, I'm just breathing. So like that is
Right.
how we should be able to feel. I'm working through that skill set and I'm
Yeah.
doing that better, but that's what we need to do. And the one thing that I will say that when I talk to men all over, friends, family, whatever, don't we hate I'm fine from our partner? Don't
Oh.
we hate I'm fine?
I
Like,
mean,
and I don't use hate a lot, but there is a visceral reaction that men have when we talk about the I'm fine response because it's like a whole nother language. Like I'm fine can mean so many things, but if she just expresses what it is, then we move on. But we have no problem giving that I'm fine.
don't do that to me.
I'm
Don't you
just
already did, but my goodness. Like you ouch.
yeah.
You basically feel like you're being lied to. Like I know you're not fine. I can see it. It's on your face. And it's in your arms being crossed at the moment. It's in you turning your back to me at this moment and walking away. You're not fine.
Yep. I'm fine. It's in your walk away. Like
Lord, please save my marriage.
yeah, so like we yeah, I mean it's always when the table's turned, like we're quick to say we're good because we don't want to feel, know how to feel, or want to express our feeling. But if we just didn't say I'm fine, if we said I'm fill in the blank with the feeling, then you have a little conversation, then it's gone.
Mm-mm-mm. Man, I just need to take a moment to say hi to my wife. Um, and I know the thought that's going through your head right now because she brings these episodes to me. It's funny, like these episodes have in some manner become part of our communication,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I may say and or admit some things to you that I haven't said to her, fully knowing that she's going to hear them. But some of these have created conversations. It's been wonderful for our marriage, by the way. if any of you need any encouragement to move forward in saying more things to your wife, this this has been a good tool for me. But all that being said, in the moment that she heard you make that statement, I can just imagine her being like, this, this right here. And after she hears it and sees me later in the day, she's going to point to this episode and be like, 11 years.
Enough said.
Hey,
Enough
I'm
said.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I will be there.
Yeah. I mean, that's, yeah, just thinking even for me, it's just that. And the hard part is, as I'm trying to be better, like I acknowledge that I talk myself out of feelings or talk myself out of um, addressing things because I feel like it's not that big of a deal. It's not like we talked about in a past episode. Like the value is I don't put value on that. Like it's not that big of a deal that I should stop my life to do this. But it is.
Right.
It is. So everything that we should say it's not a big deal in our marriage, we should evaluate and be like, it probably is worth it right now in this moment. Um, I won't say 100% because obviously there's a time and place to address things, but most of the time, if you guys are by yourself, that 5 minutes, even if it might make you late to somewhere, by 5 minutes, that 5 minutes can help your marriage, propel to the next level.
Yeah. And I have to imagine that there's more men out there who have gone through this similar experience, right? Where your wife has said to you in the past, am I not allowed to have feelings? Right? Like, do you just not want me to consider my feelings? Something in that realm of statement, right? And because you love your wife and you care about her, your auto answer probably was, or even if you were thinking to yourself, I wouldn't do that. But you do it to yourself all the time. You're so practiced in doing that that you don't even realize that you're doing it to her. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Big.
we're, I would, well, my default is to suppress my feelings, and I'm working through that, not changing that default. Um, but yeah, when you've done it to yourself for so long, it just is natural that you do it to others. Even though it might not look the same, and you might be better at fighting that off for others because you understand it's important for other people. but not for me. It's not. No, I'm good. Everybody else, though, you can have all the feelings. Me,
Mm.
nope, I don't get feelings.
Yeah. And I have to be careful about this even with the kids, right? Like they get mad about something, sad about something. And in my adult man brain, I'm like, you shouldn't be upset about that. Like who am I to try to restrict them from processing their feelings?
Yeah. Right. It's yeah, and it's all about, right. We talked about perspective in a past episode too, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the perspective is different, so the weight of what happened is different, right? Using
Mm.
the kids, right? They don't have the life experience we do. They don't see that in the grand scheme of things. This isn't the big deal. This is their entire life, like right here, right now, in front of them. What they're focusing on is the big deal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they don't have the resources that we have, or know the resources. So if they drop an ice cream cone on the ground, they have no idea in that moment that they're going to get another one. They have no idea.
Yeah. That's the only ice cream I'll ever have.
Ever have in life, because in this moment, and that's the beautiful thing about kids, they show up for the moment 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all there, especially the younger they are. Like everything. is in this moment. So that's why everything feels so big to them.
Yeah.
We've learned how to compartmentalize. We know that this moment will probably not be the lasting moment of our life and all that. So, but if we showed up like that, how much deeper could we go in our marriages? If we showed up like this moment with my wife right now is the most important moment. So, how
Ah,
can I address this as the most important moment?
what was Alicia Keys singing about? Like you'll never see me again. Are those the lyrics?
Shame on me.
Oh, that's probably pretty close. But yeah, man, I mean, how often do we actually do that? How often do we love on our wives or on our family like this is the last time? Like, if you had that mentality, how much more rich would your experiences be? And what you also got me stuttering now. What you also got me thinking about is robbing our children of our attention, right? Like, so if we really put this into perspective, right, drawing from that ice cream story,
Mm-hmm.
or example, um, you're sitting on the couch, your nose buried in your phone, and your kid comes over to you, hey, will you play with me? Right, and you're in your mind, you may have went through this whole process of like, all right, yeah, yeah, we could play. It's gonna have to be like an hour and a half from now. You're not saying this to them, but this is how quickly you're processing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your answer comes in to them like, not right now. But you've already decided, like, yeah, I'm gonna play with you hour and a half from now. Gotta get this done, this done, this done, got to get dinner done, da, 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 da. We're gonna eat, blah, blah, blah. Right. All they're hearing is, wow, you don't like me. What do you not right now? Does that mean never?
Right, because they don't know what right like when is the time. They
Yeah.
don't have it. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
wait.
that's good. Yeah, the thing the thing about that example is yes, you can get better and let them know like, hey, in an hour and a half we'll do that. But your kids are the best accountability partner you'll ever have.
Right, right,
They're
right.
like, oh, an hour and a half from now. So what is it? 1:57? Okay. Right. You know, so they'll be ready, you know, at what's that? 3:27. They'll be ready at it's 3:27. Like you said, an hour and a half. Like, let's go. Uh, so, but no, I get it. Like that's yeah, like the last time. That's pretty. I just wrote down last time mentality. Like we need to have that
Mhm.
with with our loved ones, with our wives, our kids, um, but just be fully in it for that time.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, the last time does exist.
Yeah,
And
that's
take
real.
it from me, you don't want to have that regret. You do not want to have that regret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Man, that took a turn.
yeah, it did. It did.
I'm sorry.
But in essence, don't kick the stool and not say anything about it. Even if you kick the stool, like let someone know. I just kicked that stool,
Mhm.
and I feel this way about it.
I don't know how we got there, but I don't know. It needed to be said, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. But as we're coming up on time, like addressing the issues, don't let them slide. Make your feelings heard and sit in it like it's the last time.
That's it.